Okay, let's jump right into this explainer and put you directly in the driver's seat for a high-stakes, real-world communication survival test. You know, if you've ever spent hours learning a new language, you already know there's this massive, honestly kind of terrifying gap between what you practice in a quiet room and what you actually need when the adrenaline suddenly hits. So today, we're playing a little conceptual game we call the fake friend. We're going to look at exactly what happens when your perfectly practiced, grammatically flawless vocabulary crashes headfirst into a highly stressful, completely unscripted real-world encounter. Because look, you absolutely know how to say, "This is a table," or "Where is the library" from your textbook. You've memorized the flashcards, right? You've passed the quizzes. But rigid dictionary words absolutely will not save you when you're driving a rental car in downtown Moscow, you accidentally pull an illegal U-turn, and suddenly you hear the piercing wail of a police siren right behind you. In that exact moment, you panic. That's just the universal human reaction. Your palms sweat, your heart races, and all those polite, perfectly structured sentences literally just vanish from your brain. So we're going to deeply analyze how to actually survive this exact high-stakes scenario. And spoiler alert, the secret isn't better grammar, it's cultural hacking.
The scenario: a rapid-fire encounter with Captain Ivanov.
Let's completely immerse ourselves in this, playing it out at full speed so you can really feel that adrenaline rush. Imagine those flashing red and blue lights blinding you in the rearview mirror. You slowly pull over. Your heart is absolutely pounding against your ribs. The window rolls down, and the officer hits you with this strict, rapid-fire demand. "Good day. Captain Ivanov. Did you see the sign? U-turn is forbidden there. Documents, please." It's formal, it's incredibly direct, and it establishes unwavering authority right out of the gate. There's zero warmth here. It's purely transactional, and suddenly you're entirely on the defensive against a rigid arm of the law. Now, instead of freezing up completely or offering some stiff, dictionary-translated apology that instantly flags you as a clueless outsider, you respond with this slightly panicked plea. "Oh, hello, comrade captain. I'm so sorry. I'm not from around here. I was following the GPS. It glitched the damn thing." Notice the brilliant tactical move you're making here. You are immediately blaming your technology. You're shifting the spotlight totally away from your genuinely bad driving and pointing it at a universally relatable enemy, a malfunction in navigation system. But here's what's really interesting. Captain Ivanov holds his ground. He isn't immediately charmed. He shoots back. "GPS is good, but you need to look at signs. You're violating. Shall we write a ticket?" He is absolutely not letting you off the hook just yet. He acknowledges the excuse, sure, but he's still wielding his full authority and explicitly threatening the fine. The pressure is totally on, and the outcome completely hangs in the balance. In response to that looming threat, you make one final, desperate push using a very specific cultural title. You plead, "Please, Commander, first time here. Maybe forgive me for the first time? I won't do it again, honest word." This right here is the climax of the negotiation. You're throwing yourself entirely at his mercy, but you're doing it with highly specific, calculated language designed to break straight through that formal, authoritative exterior. Okay, hit pause right there. Let's stop the tape and rewind. Why did we just play out that incredibly specific dialogue? Because if you had just used standard dictionary words, if you had just stiffly said, "Hello, sir, I am sorry, I made a mistake," you would already be paying a massive, day-ruining fine. The words used in that scenario weren't just casual banter, they were carefully chosen psychological tools meant to disarm the entire situation.
The breakdown, deconstructing the cultural hacks. Let's look under the hood to see exactly how this worked.
So, the absolutely crucial point to recognize is that you didn't call him sir. When that window rolled down, you didn't reach for the sterile textbook translation of Mr. or officer. You enthusiastically used comrade captain and later commander or commandeer. This is a massive cultural hack in Russia. Calling a driver, a guard, or a police officer commandeer is a respectful yet slightly casual way to build immediate rapport. It acts like a secret handshake. It signals that you actually understand the culture on the ground. You aren't just a clueless tourist reading from a phrasebook, you are speaking their real, lived language.
Then think about how you blamed the technology. You didn't just blandly say, "the machine is broken," you specifically said it glitched, using the word zaglutchil. What's fascinating, and honestly pretty hilarious about this, is that the root of this word actually means hallucination. It's the ultimate modern slang for when a phone, a computer, or your GPS completely freezes up and starts acting crazy. By using it, you're leaning heavily into the universally relatable humor of a broken GPS. I mean, everyone, including the stern Captain Ivanov, has wanted to throw a hallucinating phone out of a moving vehicle at some point, right?
And you didn't stop there. You masterfully punctuated that shared frustration by calling the GPS a zaraza. Literally, this translates to infection, but colloquially it's used to mean damn thing. By strategically dropping this word at the very end of your sentence, you showcased a shared, everyday frustration that absolutely any local can relate to. You aren't arguing the letter of the law. You're inviting him to be deeply annoyed at modern technology right alongside you.
You aren't just speaking the language here, you are actively shifting the dynamic. You've completely moved the interaction away from a strict, top-down authority figure punishing a civilian. Instead, through culturally embedded terms like commander and zaraza, you brought it down to a side-by-side, shared, human-to-human level. You effectively made yourself a relatable, everyday person who just got screwed over by a hallucinating piece of technology.
The ultimate takeaway from this explainer, the core thesis you really need to remember, is that surviving foreign encounters is entirely about humanizing your mistakes. It's about connecting through shared cultural frustrations. When the heat is on, ditch the rigid dictionary words. Build instant rapport with those local cultural titles. Shift the power dynamic away from strict authority. Find a universal enemy to blame, like that terrible glitchy technology, and ultimately connect on a shared human level. That is exactly how you turn a hefty, vacation-ruining fine into a simple, friendly warning.
So, using these psychological hacks, you managed to successfully get out of the ticket this time. You masterfully played the fake friend and humanized your mistake. But I gotta ask you, when we dive into our next scenario, how on earth are you gonna negotiate prices at the chaotic local market without getting completely ripped off? We're gonna find out next time. Keep practicing those cultural hacks, keep looking for those shared human connections, and I'll see you in the next explainer.